Well, Galaxy, let's check the dividends.
On the Galaxy, 11 Snowland, $4.50 and $2. 14 Star of Florida, $2.80. 6 Bradshaw, $7.50. Quinella, $13.90. Exacta, $28.60. Trifecta, $504.40. Bomber Bill, number 3, ran 4th on the first 4 on the New South Wales tote, paid $7,969.50.
Bomber Bill putting some value into that pick 4. A popular win, Snowland, here today. Let's join our Master of Ceremonies, Craig Willis.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the best sprinters in the land gather for the Galaxy at Royal Randwick. And what a great combination. Snowland, Gay Waterhouse, Chris Muntz and some wonderful owners who are great supporters of racing. To make the presentations, would you please make welcome AJC committee member and also honorary treasurer, Mr. David Hall.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I've been very honoured today to be able to make a presentation to our wonderful sponsor, Mr. Kowenko of the San Miguel Corporation. It was an exciting race led by the speedster from Brisbane and with an excellent finish from Snowland. The Group 1 Galaxy was first run in 1972 and since that time has grown in stature to be the premier sprint conducted in New South Wales, and with prize money of $1 million plus trophies, making it the richest sprint race in the Southern Hemisphere. San Miguel are sponsoring this event for the 4th time, which has again attracted an outstanding field of sprinters from New South Wales and interstate. As one can see from the previous winners' table, some top flight horses have been successful, including Kester, Bletchingley, Salam, Luskin Star, Grey Receiver, Snippets and Scalacci. Indeed, last year the race was won by local sprinter Mystigic, who was subsequently elected New South Wales Racehorse of the Year. Today's winner has joined this elite group of sprinters, and I wish to congratulate Mr. Kowenko and his connections for such an outstanding result. And from the AJC's viewpoint, we hope we are able to continue to make such presentations to Mr. Kowenko on our leading carnival. Last year we had the honour of also presenting the Derby to Mr. Kowenko. Thank you. To receive the trophy on behalf of Mr. Kowenko, I am honoured to introduce Mrs. Kowenko, who will make the presentation.
Members of the committee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Mr. and Mrs. Kowenko and the Guri Pastoral Company Syndicate, I'd just like to say what an outstanding thrill it is to win this time-honoured Group 1 race with a lovely little colt, Snowland. He's been a terrific horse for us, very honest and consistent, and great thrill for him to win a Group 1 today. He's off to Witten Stud shortly, and it's just a great thrill, and we'll see plenty of star Snowlands in the future. Thank you very much to, first of all, Gay Waterhouse, another great training performance. Gay, you never cease to amaze us, and it's been an absolute thrill to be with you for the last couple of years, and you've shown us the way. Great thanks to Chris Muntz. He's ridden this horse throughout his career. He's got a great association with the horse, and no one knows him better than Chris, and we've had so much luck with Chris. Thank you so much, Chris. Special thanks also to Mr. and Mrs. Judy Marheen that bred this colt at Stratheden. Congratulations to Mr. Marheen for breeding such a special colt. And thanks very much, of course, to the sponsors, San Miguel, and all the staff at Gay's stable, the hard-working staff behind the scenes, and all the hard-working staff back at the farm. It's a team effort. There's a lot of people behind the scenes to put it all together, and thanks very much. Great thrill.
Well, the horse going to stud now, and that's really made his name, hasn't it, to win a Group 1 here. That'll make a big commercial difference to Snowland.
Oh, no doubt about that, but you've got to admire again the timing of Gai Waterhouse to get the horse 100% spot on for today, and that's how he was.
We've come to the highlight of the program. It's been a while coming, but it's the San Miguel Doncaster, $2.5 million. Here is the lineup.
3 out, 15 to run, scratch 1, Defire. 2, Lonro, to be ridden by Darren Beedman. Scratch 3, Shogun Lodge, and 4, Accelerator. 5, Dash for Cash, Danny Nikolic. 6, Crawl, Rod Quinn. 7, Scenic Peak, Greg Childs. 8, Gordo, Corey Brown. 9, Corral Boy, Scott Seamer. 10, Grand Army, Danny Beasley. 11, Beau Real, Darren Gauchi. 12, Corporate Bruce, Craig Newitt. 13, Miss Zoe, Craig Carmody. 14, Chairman's Choice, Reese McLeod. 15, Cognac Trader, Digger McClellan. 16, Thorn Park, Glenn Boss. 17, Gentle Genius, Terry Jones. And 18, Purple Groove, Karen McAvoy.
Well, Lonro's the favourite down here in the ring. He opened up just a touch into the black, and he's about a half point better than even money now. Thorn Park's the second pick. He's out to about a point under each way, Thorn Park, so he's a lot closer to Lonro than what was first thought this morning. Then we go out to the next 3, Dash for Cash, and also Gordo and Grand Army. They're just a point under double figures. So Lonro is the clear-cut favourite, just in front of Thorn Park.
On the tote, Defire out, Lonro returning $2.70, drop the next 2, Dash for Cash $8.70, Crawl $39.70, Scenic Peak $48.30, Gordo $5.90, Corral Boy $14.10, Grand Army $14.80, Beau Real $42.50, Corporate Bruce $133, Miss Zoe $13, Chairman's Choice $113.20, Cognac Trader $61.20, Thorn Park $6.80, Gentle Genius $110, Purple Groove $19.30.
So Lonro the favourite at 270. The official crowd today, 44,500. That's a great turn up at Randwick. That's where we'll be right after this.
He switches on at the right time when you get behind the gates. Basically, he's very cool, calm and collected.
And he's extending now. He's in total control. And this magnificent equine races away, Lonro, to win it brilliantly. And the Woodlands black shirt exploded away. Lonro, 2 lengths Dash for Cash and Defire, and Lonro brilliantly won.
He's always very focused when it comes to, race day, which, Dad was exactly the same. They get a little bit coldy odd times, around the stables and that, but when the real stuff's there, when the saddle goes on, they know how to focus, and that's why they're racehorses.
He really does get the adrenaline running when he's getting ready for a race, and you watch him of a morning working. He is something special.
This is the real Thorn Park today. He's 2 hydrometer, and Thorn Park wins the Hobart Bull brilliantly.
Yeah, he's got a few gears. He's got a good motor too to match. No, he's having the gears without the motor. But, no, he's got it all.
Thorn Park with his head in front of Bumptuous. Thorn Park's too classy for them, and Thorn Park won it.
The major players in the San Miguel Doncaster. Let's have a look at the Rider Stakes, Max, as we assess the chances. Lonro winning this day over Dash for Cash. Defire was also in the race. Darren Beedman earlier today said the big difference between weight for age and handicaps, they go harder in handicaps earlier. The sectionals late were so impressive here.
Yes, but that's not surprising with a brilliant horse like Lonro, because he's got a sizzling sprint, and when he was able to canter early, he produced it. But he'll produce plenty too at the end of the Doncaster today.
Dash for Cash meets him 3 better. Can that bring them together?
I wouldn't think so, but Dash for Cash is a good racehorse, and if Lonro had bad luck and Dash for Cash had the breaks, well, that's a different situation.
Gai Waterhouse has won remarkably 5 of the last 9 Doncasters. It's a great record. Grand Ami is her one runner today, with Accelerator being scratched. good win last week. We actually watched this race from about the 300 together, and Lord Essex looked home at the time, but Grand to Me was strong at the end.
Yes, and really there's not the depth in this race that you would like in a Doncaster leader, but it's the manner of the horse, the way he wins, the way he hits the line. He's getting better every day, every week. He's going to be a top liner. You just wonder whether today is the day for him to really blossom into a Group 1.
Only had the 7 starts. He's the least experienced horse in the race. Thorn Park's the 3-year-old in the race with 8 starts. He's had only 1 defeat in New South Wales. This was a clever win in the far lap. He was explosive in the Hobartville. This is more tradesman-like. He had to weave a bit between them, but in the end he did the job.
Yes, but what was he beating? He was beating 3-year-olds. But there's one thing for certain, that Thorn Park is a very, very good racehorse. And with that pull in the weights, by gee, he's going to explode today if, of course, he can handle the conditions.
He is an exciting horse, and Bob Thompson's been a huge fan all the way through. And he does get the weight pull, as you say, today with the older horses. Who are you going for?
Oh, I'm going for Gordo. I think Gordo can win under handicap conditions. But put it this way, the 2 favourites are outstanding racehorses, but at the odds, under conditions, I think Gordo can win.
Peter Donegan's going for his stablemate and more famous one in Lonhro. Well, you become famous when you win a Doncaster and Epsom, and Superimpose is the one horse that's won 2 Epsoms and 2 Doncasters. And there he is, Super. He'll be leading the horses onto the track for the $2.5 million San Miguel Doncaster Handicap. Of the chase on Derby and Doncaster Day, and the moment has arrived. The major players are in the yard for the Doncaster Handicap, and we start with very much the number 1, but he carries the number 2 saddlecloth, and that is Lonhro. What a record he's got. He's unbeaten this time in. He's the weight for age king currently of Australian racing. Everything adds up to a big performance from this horse today. Little O, Lonhro.
Yes, an outstanding horse. And Bruce, look at him. What colour is he? He's a black, but he's officially registered as a brown, because when he was registered, he had a couple of brown hairs around his chin.
Well, today he will carry the hopes of much of New South Wales and I think Australia. As you see there, he's short all around Australia is Lonhro. Dash for Cash. Well, Lonhro's won 5 Group 1s. Dash for Cash is a dual Group 1 winner. As we see Lonhro, Dash for Cash was second to Lonhro in the ride. He's won a Futurity and an Australian Guineas. He was 10th as a 3-year-old last year in this race.
Yes, you just wonder about his credentials against Lonhro. But there again, Dash for Cash is a top racehorse, and the conditions, well, they should suit him. He's been placed on a slow track, so he's there with some hope.
Cruel's in his 3rd Doncaster. He was 4th a couple of years ago. At 1,600 metres, he's had 12 starts for no wins, 3 placings, but he has won a Stradbroke.
Yes, and he'll be charging home, and it's interesting to note that on a slow track, he's had 5 runs for 4 placings.
Scenic Peak number 7 had a fantastic spring in Melbourne on hard tracks, was 4th in the Toorak, and then won the Group 1 Emirates on the final day of the Cup Carnival.
Yes, they were hard tracks. It's a slow track today.
Gordo, big chance. Lonhro stablemate, 4th in the Rider, had a fantastic spring where he won the Shannon and the Tramway.
And he meets Lonhro 5 kilos better. He'll handle a slow track. He looks immaculate. He's got a chance.
Kirill Boy 9 is a very consistent racehorse. He's won 14 out of 28. He was 3rd in the Ajax, 2nd before that at Newcastle, and he's won 5 of his 8 at the mile.
A good racehorse. You just wonder whether he's in the silk department of the Doncaster, but he has won his only attempt on a slow track, and that's a big plus today.
Can Grand Army make the big jump up? 7 starts, 5 wins, 2 placings. He's having his first start at Group 1 level today.
And it's the first time he'll be getting his feet wet. So it'll be interesting to see how he handles the experience.
Boreal is the Villiers winner. That's the summer equivalent of the Doncaster at Group 2 level. 1 start this time, and he didn't fire it in the Newmarket at Newcastle.
But he has been firing on a heavy track at Warwick Farm, so perhaps he could show up at long odds.
One of the real roughies of the race is Corporate Bruce. He had good form in Western Australia late last year in the Railway and the Fruit and Veg, but he looks outclassed.
He certainly does. Only those that want to back an outsider would be on him.
Miss Zoe's a quality mare. Her win in the mile race on Derby Day, the Nestle, I still think was one of the best performances of the spring. She was fifth to Hosanna last start, and she's been one run behind all spring. Maybe a chance here.
Yeah, that might just come against her today. She's got to be right on top of her game to win this, but I just wonder whether she'll be comfortable on a slow track too.
There's Chairman's Choice, made great progress in the spring, but he does look out of his depth here.
I couldn't disagree with that.
Well, Cognac Trainer 15 has got Bart Cummings. Bart almost won the Derby with a surprise packer today. He's had no luck, but he's only won $35,000. Look, he's eligible for a lot weaker races.
Yes, but he's only had 9 starts, Bruce. He's got some potential, and the magic word, Cummings.
Thorne Park is really interesting. He could be anything, this horse. He's only been beaten the once in Sydney. 6 starts for 5 wins. Look, he looks as if he's the up-and-comer, the 3-year-old with the lightweight.
Yes, a query on the slow track, but the wide barrier is a worry here.
Gentle Genius is a pretty good mare. She was second in a Coolmore behind Sunline last year. She's got a very good 1,600-metre record.
Perhaps she could show up, but by gee, she's got to improve on a last start failure.
And Purple Groove has been right on her toes in the mounting yard. She's got a good record at the mile and a good record in wet conditions, and there's a bit of a tip.
And that's the big point in her favour. Good record in the conditions, and she should be included in the prospects.
Just exciting times now. Lonhro not too far away, with the rest of them going out for $2.5 million. We'll be back with the San Miguel Doncaster ride. $44,600 people here today for San Miguel Doncaster Day, and this is the moment they've waited for, the $2.5 million Doncaster handicap. Lonhro's gone around to the post. He's a very warm favourite. He looks as if he's as relaxed as ever, but Simon Marshall's close up. Simon.
You know, this is the greatest 1,600-metre race in Australasia, and when the jockeys get behind the gates here, there's not much said whatsoever, because they know it's going to be a battle of tactics and it's going to be pressure from go to woe. And I'm very fortunate enough to be doing a couple of laps around Lonhro here, and I'll tell you what, you could put your spaghetti marinara on his back and eat it off and you wouldn't leave a drop of oil. He is in pristine condition, and he has a habit of having a look at the grandstand like his father octagonal. He stands there, pricks his ears as if to think, well, you know, takes it all up, let's go, let's compete. Darren always keeps him by himself there. He's just lovely and relaxed. Stop talking about him, you get too excited. Thorne Park's just over here. He's a fantastic looking horse. He's trained to the minute he's spot on. Lovely and relaxed too, with Glenn Boss up in the saddle. Gordo was another one that took the eye behind the gates, looked fantastic. A filly with a mare, I should say, with 49 kilos on her back, Purple Groove. She got a little bit fizzed up, but she's A-OK. Danny Nikolic gives Dash for Cash a good trot around to keep him warm. He's got some great Group 1 form. Dash for Cash, as we know, he's run second to Lonhro. Apart from that, they're all ready and going. Let's get it on, the greatest 1,600-metre race that you're going to witness.
Here, I think, Simon. Let's go down to the ring. Lonhro's short on the tote. Is he still short on the ring?
He's the same price on the tote as he is in the ring. At the moment on the tote, he's showing $2.20, and he's been the best back runner in this race. Also, a little bit of money early for Thorne Park, although he's just starting to get out again. He is second pick. Of the others, Gordo's been back. There's a little bit of money for Dash for Cash. And spec'd at longer odds, Miss Zoe, Purple Groove and Boreal.
So they've come for a few, Max, which you would expect. If there are 4 majors in Australian racing, the Slipper, the Melbourne Cup, the Caulfield Cup and the Cox Plate, I think this is genuinely the 5th major in Australian racing.
Oh, yes, and there's always been a great betting race because it's a handicap, and that brings the lesser lights right into the event.
Well, you've had a look at them in the yard. You've seen them on the way to the post. Gordo, your horse, is very much in the market at around about 7-1 on the tote. Just the thing with Lonhro, I mean, under pressure in a handicap a long way out. We're about to find out something today about him.
Yes, and take a short price about it too. And Bruce, don't forget, and very, very vitally, the Doncaster is not a favourites race.
No, only 4 favourites in the last 27 years have won the Doncaster, and Sunline has done it on a couple of occasions. So only 3 horses in 27 years have been favoured.
Yes, and one of the others, Emancipation, was a champion too. So, you know, it's a champion's race, but favourites certainly have got a pressure task ahead of them. So this will answer questions about Lonhro.
More money for Lonhro as we speak. He tumbles in. And the other surprising stat, the last 4-year-old to win was the mare, My Gold Hope, 21 years ago. You would have thought it'd be a 4-year-old's race, but it hasn't been in the past 2 decades. Well, they're almost set. Let's join Ian Craig, courtesy of Sky, for one of the highlights of the Australian racing year, the San Miguel $2.5 million Doncaster Handicap.
Now the Western Australian is still away. Corporate Bruce and Thorn Park is to come in now. Overcast conditions at the moment. Crowd 44,694. 44,694. That's a mighty crowd considering the conditions, particularly earlier today. Now Corporate Bruce. A little bit of sweat just being wiped from his neck. Cognac Trader's rider is out of the saddle at the moment. And whether there's a slight hold up in the stalls for one reason or not, I don't know. No, everything's sweet because Corporate Bruce is moving in. And we're all ready now. This is the San Miguel Doncaster. Starter has the button. They're off in the Doncaster and dashed for cash jump well. So too did Boreal. Lonhro got away nicely. Scenic Peak and Grand Army are nice and handy, followed by Gentle Genius. Thorn Park wide out from Gordo, Corral Boy. Then a gap to Chairman's Choice. Gordo's getting back along the rails. A length into Miss Zoe, followed closely by Corporate Bruce and Cognac Trader. And Crawler's the tail ender. Racing to the 1100 marker, and Boreal and Dash for Cash are putting on the speed. A length and a half behind them. The third is Grand Army, followed by Scenic Peak. A length and a half to Thorn Park, and then comes Gentle Genius inside Lonhro. Purple Groove. A length and 3/4 then to Gordo, Corral Boy, followed by Miss Zoe. Chairman's Choice wider out, and then comes Cognac Trader on the inside of Corporate Bruce, and 2 lengths to Crawl. They come along the side in the Doncaster at the 700. Dash for Cash, 3/4 Boreal, 2 to Grand Army on the rails, then Scenic Peak. Thorn Park is back 5th, and then Gentle Genius, Lonhro, Purple Groove, followed by Chairman's Choice and Gordo, Miss Zoe. Corporate Bruce and wider Corral Boy from Cognac Trader and Crawl. They swing around the home corner now, and the grey from Melbourne, Dash for Cash, is the leader. A half length on Boreal, bridging the gap. Grand Army getting between them. Thorn Park another 2 lengths away. Then comes Scenic Peak and Lonhro. He's got some work to do from Gordo and Gentle Genius, but Grand Army, he accelerates Grand Army. It's another Doncaster for Gay Waterhouse. Grand Army racing away from Dash for Cash, and Grand Army a great winner from Dash for Cash and Boreal. Lonhro, Gentle Genius, Cognac Trader, followed by Scenic Peak, Gordo, and then Chairman's Choice. Corporate Bruce, Thorn Park, and then Crawl, followed by Purple Groove, Miss Zoe, and last in Corral Boy.
What a remarkable performance by this horse, and Gay Waterhouse. She has won 6 of the last 10 Doncasters. Her dad, Tommy Smith, owns the all-time record with 7. She is closing in. And what a horse this is. Just in his 8th race start today, he was the least experienced in the field, and he has absolutely trotted home. Danny Beasley, has he had a week? Golden Slipper, $3 million last week, $2.5 million Doncaster this week. He didn't win, he bolted in.
Yes, what about potential? But there it is, exploded. And what a wonderful training performance, as you've said. The Gay Waterhouse to get this horse so well on this day.
6 out of 10 Doncasters. That's Bart Cummings like with the Melbourne Cup, isn't it? I mean, this is such a competitive race. They come from everywhere to go, and Gay is just dominating. She has put her stamp on this race in the last decade like no other person.
Yes, and you would have thought that she'd had a setback when Accelerator had to be scratched earlier in the week, but look at this. She's got another top-class Group 1 horse, and one that has come so soon with so little experience.
Phil, for Jim Cassidy a bit, he would have probably ridden this but for Accelerator coming out. Dash for Cash battled on really well. Boreal. Lonhro gave his best. Boy, he tried in the straight. He just couldn't get into the picture. Simon, Danny Beasley, I think he's had a good week, don't you?
Oh, Danny Beasley's nearly fainted and jumped off the horse here just to kiss the ground. Danny, you better stay on there because, mate, you've just won the Doncaster.
Oh, the Doncaster, Simon. Slipper last week, the Doncaster this week. What a week, eh?
Yeah,
something.
Hey, tell me, mate, you got a beautiful run and he absolutely bolted away with it, didn't he? Tell us about this super horse.
Mate, that's what he is, mate. As Bob Baffert would say, superstar.
Danny, you got to the front, how far from home?
Got to the front probably at the about the 250 furlong time.
Yeah.
Always travel like the winner, box seated. Just give me the best ride.
Yeah.
Beautiful horse.
Yeah.
Jimmy Cassidy, mate, I love your pump.
Yeah.
He's done it again for me, this bloke. He told me during the week, he said, mate, he said, this horse is, don't worry about the other horses. He said, this horse is a superstar. He said, I think he can win the Cox Plate next year. I said, well, that'll do me.
Fantastic. Mate, hey, Cashy's not playing soccer today, is he? I hope he's here.
No, he's been a bit crook, the little fella, and he'll be at home watching. Good on you, champion.
Well,
yeah, but he's been a little bit crook, and so this will lift his spirits.
Go put your hands in the air for this wonderful crowd that have come out in the rain, mate. Well done.
House down in the winner's circle, the Gay Waterhouse Doncaster handicap it's turned out to be again.
Yes, well, you can only have the handicap if you have the horse. And luckily, Alan Bell and his wife very kindly gave us Grand Omni to train, and he's never looked back. And we were lucky enough to him to come right at the right time, and he ran last Saturday, proved his superiority, did a few things wrong last Saturday, and that was the making. He did those things. I thought, you can do it wrong last Saturday, you can't do it wrong in the Group 1. And he did everything right today. Danny rode him to perfection. He was never far away on a rain-affected track, and the horse just kept improving. It was fabulous.
Probably just 48 hours ago, Guy, your heart sank when the troubles with the accelerator happened, but now I suppose that's forgotten.
Well, of course it's forgotten now, but only because it's past history. But the thing is that you'd like to have many chances in any race. Today we had one, and he showed his superiority. He beat the best in the land.
And finally, what is it with you in this race?
Maybe I'm just a genius. Take it.
Thanks, Guy.
Gay Waterhouse, great stuff there with Peter Donegan. And for Danny Beasley, boy oh boy, the second ride of his life in a week as he comes back.
And who can doubt the quote, just a genius.
There was a great article with Danny Beasley about Johnny Lewis and his relationship. He works out with Johnny Lewis. Johnny compares him with Jeff Fennick with his determination. They have a coffee every morning and he's kissing ground on me. I bet you'd love to kiss the ground that he's walking over right now, Peter Donegan.
Danny Beasley, what sort of a week has this been?
What sort of week? You just dream of this. Golden Slipper, Doncaster. For Gay, mate. Gay has been my biggest supporter since I come out of my apprenticeship. She's stood by me. She gives me opportunities. She's taught me plenty of lessons in my time. And today I've repaid her a little bit of the teaching she's given me over the past 4 or 5 yees.
Hop off, mate, and complete the formalities as we continue to talk to you. What about the passage in transit?
I couldn't have wished for a better run. I've ended up in the box seat. He just jog-trotted. I was that confident of winning. I tell you, he's a special horse. Jimmy Cassidy told me during the week, he said, this horse is a Cox Plate horse. I said, well, that'll do me.
Does it top last week? Does it equal last week? Or is it just a feeling that you can't describe?
It's just something special, you know. These races, these are what you dream of. And to come